All right, everyone, we'll go ahead and get started with Bud Black. Owen, do you want to start us off tonight?
Yeah, buddy, just wanted to ask you about what you thought of Kyle tonight. Obviously, a little shorter outing than normal for him, but coming off of the DL, everything considered, how did you think he did tonight?
Well, I thought Kyle's stuff was fine overall. He might have lost a little velocity in the fourth, but really good action on his pitches. Kept the ball down, got some strikeouts, got his ground balls, a couple ground balls, found some holes. But overall, he battled. They made him work. They really did. They laid off a lot of low pitches that had great action down below the zone. They ran his pitch count up a little bit. So, 76 pitches in 4 innings. They put some stress on him. They made him work a little bit. And I thought, first outing of the year after 2 rehab assignments, thinking it's a long year ahead of us, that, that was the time to take him out. But, his delivery looked good. The action on his pitches were fine. He might not have located the ball, to his norm, but overall, I thought he threw the ball fine. He gave up.
And did that?
Does he give up one run?
And I was going to ask you about kind of the fastball command, and if that looked like it got better during the game, or how did?
I think it just sort of stayed the same, Owen, from pitch one. He probably. There's probably a lot of factors. First time in a big league game, probably amped up a little bit, adrenaline. The Mets, were probably a little bit more selective going into this game, knowing that he was probably on a pitch count. And Kyle, you could tell that the ball was sinking. The ball had great action down. He was throwing the ball low, and a lot of the pitches ended up down below the zone. But, he competed hard. Basically matched DeGrom. DeGrom went 5. He was on a pitch count. Kyle was on a pitch count. He went 4. They pitched well. I mean, they really did. Their group of, DeGrom and the 3 relievers. And I got to look at this. I'm not sure I've ever seen a game where, every opponent's fastball was over 95 miles an hour. That was something that maybe we're going to see that in the future, but that was, to say the least, impressive arm strength, by the Mets today. I mean, that is, that's what's going on now in baseball, as we know, velocity. And, the Mets showed it tonight. That was, really something that I had never seen in 40 plus years of this game from, obviously, 4 pitchers. That was, that was something.
And finally, with Chi coming in, he was obviously prepared in terms of his routine. Had you given him any kind of mental heads up that, in this particular case, be ready for a long relief?
We didn't know exactly how the game was going. Once Kyle got to, what I felt was, looking to be his limit, I gave the bullpen a heads up, and Chi in particular, to make sure that he had plenty of time to get loose, which he did. And, he was prepared. I mean, he was mentally prepared for this. And it worked out, sort of very well for us that, Connor Joe made the last out pinch hitting for Kyle. So, we didn't have to maneuver anybody there around Chi to double switch or, have Chi hit for himself. And, he had a clean 5th and just threw the one hanging breaking ball to Nito that, he didn't miss. So, really this game came down to just, a couple pitches on both sides, and, Nito got the big blow.
Great. Thank you.
Yep.
Thomas?
Yes, buddy. Obviously, you'd want Kyle to eventually get sharper, but isn't kind of tonight what you like about him in that even when he's not sharp and he's got guys all over the base, he's going to compete and compete and compete.
Yeah, he's going to compete hard, no matter, what's happening in the course of the game. Tonight, maybe, his stuff was moving a lot, it really was. And there were times when, he'll probably, if he speaks on it, he'll tell you that the ball had great action and they did a great job of laying off pitches below the zone. But, his stuff was good. His stuff was fine.
Ryan McMahon right now, another home run tonight. Are you seeing that continuation of what you saw at home, where maybe it's a little bit calmer, better fundamentals in the swing, and he's being rewarded for it with some power?
We've talked about, Max staying, right center to left center, sort of that, his sights there to, that's where his swing is the best. If there's a hanging breaking ball or something soft, he'll pull it. But, the intent is to, stay up the middle. And again, be selective, make sure you're swinging at the right pitches. And tonight was tough, right? Because you got ultra velocity and guys with good breaking stuff. So, I mean, the Mets got a good pitching staff stuff-wise. And I think we saw that tonight.
And last one, the play that he made on Maben, we saw it on television, just that bare hand. But could you appreciate from the dugout how good a play that was?
Yeah, that was a good play in real time, and we're close to it. I mean, that's hard, with a guy who can run, Mac playing back, to come up and snare that ball and throw a strike with some velocity. That's legit play. I mean, we've talked about his defense all year, and tonight on that play, you saw it. Even that one play, there at the end, the Dom Smith swinging bunt. That was probably no chance to make that play, but yet he barehanded and threw a off balance throw to first. But that's the type of talent that Mac has on defense, and it showed tonight with those two plays.
Thank you, buddy.
Hey, buddy, it's Kevin. You mentioned the velocity, and early on it looked like that you all were having some success at the plate against DeGrom. Did something change as far as his delivery, or how did he kind of then?
Well, I don't think so, Kevin. I mean, I got to look at the video to see whether he was locating the ball better, but we knew going in it was going to be anywhere from 97 to 100 on the fastball, and Max squared one up. I mean, we were aggressive early. I mean, we knew that, it's tough for our hitters to get behind, or any hitters to get behind DeGrom, with his, with the velocity, with the slider, with the changeup. I mean, you got to be ready to hit the fastball because it's, more than likely coming early. Tap swung early. I thought Trev had a good at bat, flew out. Chuck swung at the first pitch. But unless he was just a little sharper as the game went on, I have to look at the video. But his stuff was real, and he's been doing this now for a couple of years. Kevin, this guy, I've said over the course of I think the last year and a half, 2 years that this guy's the best pitcher in the game by far.
Did you see any change in the offensive approach tonight against him than whenever you all faced him at Coors?
No, again, we knew what's coming. I mean, you got to be ready to hit the fastball. Because it's coming, more often than the secondaries. Not really. I mean, we kept the same, pre-game talk about him and what we wanted to do, and that's be aggressive early in the count on fastballs in the strike zone. So, and that was the same plan. I mean, he's really good. He's a really good pitcher.
Thanks, buddy.
Last questions from Thomas.
I just wanted to circle back on tonight, Rogers. What do you think this does for his confidence? I mean, able to go the opposite way a couple of times, but still a couple of knocks against a very good pitcher.
Yeah, it's early, but it's good to see him, collecting some hits. So that's good for him, no matter how they come and what they look like. But, the upside of Brennan is a, really solid offensive player. He's got that type of short swing. He can get the barrel to the ball, and he's got some strength. So any hitter will tell you, you look in that box score, if you get, if there's numbers, by the, in the hit column, you feel good. So it's obviously it's confidence when you look up at the scoreboard and you see your batting average at a certain number. It can feels good. So for a young player like Brandon trying to establish himself and get comfortable and confident and all the things that young players go through, you know, one of the first things, you look at that scoreboard and see where your average is, and that's good. That's a good thing.
Hey, thanks, buddy.
Take that.
Thank you, buddy. We'll have Kyle Freeland up in just a moment.
Yeah.
Buddy. All right, let's start as soon as you sit down.
All right, cool.
All right, Tracy, do you want to start us off for Kyle today?
Kyle, I mean, obviously 4 innings isn't what Kyle Freeland, Kyle,
Sorry, Tracy.
Kyle, obviously the 4 innings isn't exactly what you're shooting for when you go out there to make it a start, but your first time back, how did it feel to be out there and how comfortable were you with everything?
Yeah, I definitely wanted to, get deeper in the game. Had a couple innings where, threw a lot of pitches, and it was kind of fighting through some things. But overall, I'm pleased with everything, especially my health. That was, I'm sure the first thing in everyone's mind today is making sure that I'm healthy out on the mound. Am I able to do my job without any doubt in my mind? So that was definitely a big positive for me and for the team and for the coaching staff. But talking with Buddy after the fourth, we didn't want to push anything. We still got a long way to go in this season. So today was a good first step of getting back into things.
So you've now made three competitive starts that we know of, the 2 at AAA and here. No residuals at all?
No, I felt normal, throughout all 3 of those. That buildup was good for me down in AAA. To get that stamina back up, see how my arm bounces back in a 5-day rotation, things like that. So everything is trending positive for me.
Thank you, sir.
Owen?
Yeah, Kyle, I mean, you said you felt normal in all 3 outings. Just today, especially, did you have any extra kind of energy or feeling amped up for the first start of the season, anything like that was going on? Yeah,
definitely. I mean, it's been almost 60 days since I've, truly competed against big league hitters, since spring training on March 23rd. So yeah, there's definitely, juices were flowing. I was amped up. I was ready to go. I don't think it, hurt me at all. I think it was good for me to, feel those butterflies, feel that adrenaline through my body. And that's what I'm looking for. As a competitor, you want to feel that, because you want to be out there competing against the very best and see how you match up.
And they got a lot of pitches out of you early. Did you feel like that was to their credit, or did you feel a little bit off in any respect in terms of your efficiency?
I think that they had a good plan coming in against me. I'm sure they thought that I was going to be very changeup heavy, which I was. I threw some very quality changeups to guys that they ended up spitting on. Usually I'm getting weak contact or swing and misses off those changeups. But that was one pitch that was really working for me. So we continue to throw it. I know they were trying to have me work it a little further up in the zone so they could see it better and get a better barrel on it. But we continue to throw it down the zone and trying to get that weak contact.
Great, thanks. Good to see you back.
Thank you.
Thomas?
Kyle and Buddy was talking about the action on those pitches and how they were moving. In a way, would it have been better to throw this thing at altitude where it wouldn't move as much out of the zone? Or
I'll take the sea level movement. That's for sure. Because you can see it. It feels good when you can see your pitches move at sea level with that drastic movement, and you can see the bad swings that hitters take. So I think overall the way my pitches were moving, how we were able to somewhat of a good job of keeping them off balance and creating weak contact and keeping the ball on the ground, letting the defense work. I think myself and Don did a good job of that tonight.
what information can you take from this? Because in all probability, other teams will use a similar plan of attack against you.
Yeah, I mean, this throughout the course of 162 games, especially with the starting pitcher, you're going to have to constantly be making adjustments. So I'll be conscious of that going into my next start, against Pittsburgh, knowing that they'll will be watching, my start here against the Mets and seeing how I was attacking guys. So it's a constant game of small adjustments, adjusting to the league, adjusting to the book of yourself, and making sure that you're not falling into patterns and you're continuing to keep hitters off balance and creating that weak contact.
Where do you feel about your fastball location is at this point? Is that where you thought it would be? Is that something that can get a little bit better right now?
I think it can get better. I mean, obviously you can always get better in this game. You can always continue to refine your pitching and fastball tonight. I think we probably could have thrown it a little bit more. I talked to Dom about that. But fastball location for me is good. It wasn't what I wanted it to be tonight. But it was there when we needed it, especially the two seam. So it's a pitch that, every pitcher needs to have. It's a great pitch. And I think, like I said, the location and the accuracy of that is going to continue to get better as I go through this season. Now that I'm back healthy.
And last one for me, how does it feel to come back into a rotation that's pitched pretty well and hold up your end of it for the 4 innings tonight, and you hope more innings in the future?
I'm very happy, watching these starters, over the past couple weeks, grind through their starts and doing a good job, leading the team in a good place, keeping runs off the board. They've been doing great. So for me to be able to jump right into that mix, obviously not be able to go as deep in the game as some of them have, but to be able to keep runs off the board and lead the team with a chance to, take a lead or win a ball game, it is definitely nice to see for myself, and hopefully that we can continue to keep that rolling as a starting rotation.
Thank you.
Yep.
Larry?
Yes, congratulations on being back, Kyle. In a strange way, for your competitiveness and for improvement, is it a good thing going up against someone like DeGrom where you're going to have to be pitching your best, and then it ends up both of you going out with a 1-1 tie?
Yeah, all credit to DeGrom. He's one of the best in the game. That goes without saying, really. He's a cheat code out there. But at the same time, when I toe the rubber, my mindset is I'm out there to beat that other guy on the mound. I'm out there to beat that team. It doesn't matter who's on the mound, whether it's a rookie or the best in the game with Jacob DeGrom. You have to have that mindset, and for me, that's how it is.
Okay, thank you, Kyle.
Anything else for Kyle? All right, you're good to go. Thank you, Kyle.
Thanks, guys.
We'll have Ryan McMahon up in just a minute, everyone. All right, guys, we'll go ahead and get started with Mac here. Nick Grote, go ahead.
Yeah, Ryan, Buddy was mentioning that I think he was exaggerating maybe just a touch, but he's never seen a game with so many hard fastballs. Did that strike you too? Did that stand out to you?
Yeah, obviously all their guys. I think the slowest fastball we saw tonight was probably 97. They had some good stuff, man. They came at us pretty good, and it's baseball.
I mean, do you get enough time in a game to adjust? Like I know over the course of a career or over a season, you can adjust to a fastball, but like in one game with so many, can you adjust to that kind of velo? Yeah,
I mean, obviously, man, it's tough. Those are top velo stuff like that, and different pitchers. It looks different from different guys, but it's not an excuse. We're going out there, we're professionals, and but we did see some good velo tonight, that's for sure. Yeah, that's cool. And then, can you talk about your home run? How did you approach that at bat, and then how did you approach DeGrom just in general? Yeah, I was just trying to get him in the zone. Get him in the central part of the zone. Obviously, we know his pedigree. We know who he is. He's got an amazing repertoire. He's the best in the game. So I was just I was trying to put a short stroke on it and just get a good pitch to hit. Cool. Thanks, dude.
Larry Patrick.
Yes, Ryan, when you go up against a guy like DeGrom, are you looking for one particular pitch and saying when you see it, you better hit it?
Yeah, I think that's the thing to do. For me personally, trying to get him up, not too up, not all the way to the top of the zone, just to give me a chance on the fastball and possibly a slider if he leaves one in the zone or change up or something like that. But I think being really picky against a guy like that is the only thing you can do. And if he makes his pitches, you're probably going to be out anyway. So you just tip your cap and walk back to the dugout. How'd you feel about having Kyle back out there tonight? It was great, man. I love playing behind Kyle. He's a bulldog out there. He's always going to give his best effort. So it's good to get him back. Excited to have him moving forward. Barring any injuries, we now have kind of the starting rotation we figured on at the beginning of the year. We're about a third of the way through the season right now, and of course fourth place and kind of far from third right now. What do you feel the offense is going to have to do to start clicking to go along with the pitching if you have hopes of moving up in the standings? That's a good question, man. I honestly think we just need to keep getting better. If we keep putting better at bats on them, you start seeing these guys more. We're a young team. A lot of these guys are just kind of getting their feet wet. And I think that the more they play at these ballparks, the more they see these pitchers, the better that we're all going to get. So, I think having good quality bats, passing the torch to the next guy and everything like that, I think that's going to help us big time. All right. Thanks, Ryan. Yep.
Thomas.
Brian, when you're going against someone like DeGrom, obviously you respect the pitches and what he's done, but when you step into the box, do you sometimes have to say, okay, this is a pitcher who throws this, and kind of try to forget the name in the Cy Young Awards?
Yeah, 100%, man. Well, I mean, obviously you respect him, but I mean, you don't just roll over and play dead for him. We're competitors too, and we want to go out there and, we're going to play him as hard as we can too.
Some of the things that we saw at home with you kind of staying open enough in the batter's box and not spreading out. It seemed like it showed up on that home run. I mean, do you feel like, hey, that's just a little bit more positive reinforcement for what you're trying to do?
Yeah, definitely. Anytime that I can stay above the ball, I'm typically going to get a better swing off.
As far as the defense is concerned, you were able to make one heck of a barehand play. First of all, do you normally barehand the ball coming at that speed? And secondly, how did it feel to make a play like that?
Yeah, good play, man. I was excited I made it. I felt like that was the only way I could get him out, honestly. So I just kind of went for it and, made the play. So, yeah.
Okay, and finally, I think it's 4 of your last 5 hits have been home runs. Do you, I guess, does that say that you're feeling good at the plate right now?
I don't know, man. I'd like to mix in a couple more singles or doubles in there, help the squad out. But definitely have a good swing going right now. So, just got to keep on keeping on, and putting good at bats together, and trying to help score runs and win games.
Hey, last one for me, to see Rogers kind of stick with some balls and get a couple hits tonight, obviously off a guy who's well known. I mean, what do you feel that does for his confidence going forward?
That was awesome, man. So Raj and I were in the cage before the game, and we got on, a machine and had the spin and fastball turned all the way up, and just kind of seeing him take that into the game and doing exactly what he practiced, man. That was very professional. So that was good to see, and I'm happy for him.
All right, thanks a lot, Ryan.
Last question from Kevin.
Hey, Mac, I was going to ask you about the defensive play as well, but it looked like whenever you first grabbed it, you didn't have a firm hold on the ball. Did you kind of have to shift it in your hand to make the throw?
I don't think I even shifted, man. I just kind of threw it towards first. I kind of one fingered it, but had enough on it to get the guy.
All right, man. Appreciate it. Thanks.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Mac.
Thanks, guys.
Talk to y'all tomorrow.